Afternoon, traders. Sorry I haven't been doing videos. I've been busy. Mom was in the hospital, so I had been dealing with that, and I had to cut out around noon today with three losers. That's like $300, less than $300 lost this morning, um, and I didn't like what the rotation. The rotation this morning, and I said that multiple times yesterday and today in the chat. I did not like the rotation that was happening. I didn't think it was being supported. So that's what I was saying this morning when I left, and wouldn't you know it, before I got to the hospital, everything was falling apart. So it turned. Unfortunately, I didn't get to capitalize on the collapse today. That's what really gets me mad. So I'm going to start with the ZNs, and we got a shot across the bow today. In one day, we have a major sell-off in the bonds. So just keep that in mind going forward here on the monthly. And I got to start with the monthly right here. And as you can see, we're on the 11th of the month. Uh, we're having all this talk of putting another stimulus out there, and all this talk has been run up on the belief that money was going to get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, and there was never going to be a fat lady, big lady at the end of the game refusing to accept lower and lower yields on these U.S. Treasuries. Well, guess what? Today we had a realization. Hey, we're not going to buy these Treasuries for these low yields any longer. So definitely something to watch here going forward on these bonds. We have a shot across the bow, in my opinion, on these bonds. And if you go on the smaller time frames here, you can see some of the things that happen here. We kind of breaking down here this breakout pattern on the bonds at all-time historic highs. We are getting a reversal signal on our bonds, and if you go down the 1 hour here, um, you can see the pattern. We've had this long uh, consolidation uptrend today. Started about 2 a.m. We have a complete breakdown from this long uptrend that started way back in early June on the bonds. So keep that in mind going forward. This is a change of character in the markets. Major, major, major change, in my opinion. So definitely we have to keep an eye on this. Is it a one off? Possibly. But this here is a major warning sign, in my opinion. Also, we might have, this is a support area, has been a support area for the Dixie. That's another thing, as the yields come up, um, there might be some buying pressure from the Dixie that would also potentially hinder equities going forward here. So um, keep in mind, a cheaper Dixie tends to be good for technology, really good. So if the Dixie rallies here, this could be a uh, very difficult situation for technology given the high multiples that we are currently facing here. Okay, so definitely something to keep on watch going forward here. And some things I wanted to point out here on the thing. And I was also watching the cheddar, or watching the flow today, and I was seeing some earlier this morning. It started. Where's it at here? If I can find it. Don't want to get in any details here and get in any copyright infringements or anything like that. Just give you a quick snap what I was looking here, and it was around here 11:14, or no, no, it's Apple. Where was Apple at? Apple. Okay, we had a little bit of bullish flow earlier this morning, and let's see here. Where did it go? One second here. Let me pause this. Okay, one thing I look at is the 11:30 close for Europe, 11:28 a.m. A large buyer, sweet buyer, above the asking price for Apple puts, and that is one that I want around the 11:30 area. This is the time frame that I look for signals going forward here. So when I saw that Apple hitting at 11:28, that put me on a warning right there. Hey, something's going on here. Europe just closed, and there might be some problems here with Apple. And so I was keeping a close eye on it. Then 11:43, the second order came in, and these fairly decent size sell orders here. So 11:30, that's whenever the Apple started giving some sell signals here. So I was keeping a close eye on this, and that's whenever we started seeing SPY puts and Q calls. Soon after that, it was by 15 minutes later, we started seeing sell side action on and they were buying all this stuff. They were buying above the ask price, trying to fill some large orders that we're executing in on the tape here. So definitely some stuff going on here into the afternoon. And as you can see, there's a lot of Qs and more Apple here at see here, what time was that? 11:50. 11:50. There was some more Apple. Um, Somebody did try to come in and save it at 12 o'clock, but it just got met with a lot more selling pressure. So definitely something I was looking at here for Apple. I was using Apple as a proxy to hold the queues up, and whenever I saw that flow coming in, I started worrying about what was happening here. I did not like seeing large orders sell side action on Apple, and as you can see here, let me zoom in here, and you can see the intraday action here on Apple. And see, we had the 11:30 close. Okay, the first sell order came in right about here, and then we had this nice little bear flag, and I was talking about that earlier this morning. This bear flag, and the second order came in, and boom, it just took it down, and Apple just fell for the rest of the day. So definitely major warning sign for technology today. And you also had on your NQs a head and shoulders pattern. We have a head and shoulders top that Lloyd pointed out to me today. And so that was something that I was watching, had on watch, and definitely a warning signal. Let me remove this one here, remove drawing. And I was also watching this Andrew's pitchfork off of yesterday's morning dip, and that widening dip yesterday morning on a Monday, that really had me worried because here we are putting in a potential head and shoulders with a widening range on a Monday, and that really worried me going into today's session, having a widening trading range with a potential head and shoulders after a Monday combination, and then plus coupled with what the order flow that I started seeing coming into the tape. And it didn't take very long for us to break my critical support, and when it did, it came down crashing with a vengeance. So, so far this evening, we might have found a short-term bottom, but something definitely to keep on watch. The NQs, if the bonds and the dollar do happen to maintain a bid here, it's probably going to be negative for the technology in at least the short run. And we all know how expensive technology has gotten. Okay, some things I want to talk about here on the financials. Okay, and the things that I was seeing here on the financials, we were having for the past 2 days near the open or near throughout the day, major sell programs were hitting, and this was happening the same time the past 2 days. And if anybody was watching the option flow this morning, it was on fire with financials call activity. They were all over the call side activity for the financials yesterday and today. Okay, so this was quite worrisome to me, seeing all the big sell orders that were also executing at this. So my alpha tracker was not confirming the option flow, and that was something I mentioned yesterday in the chat room, and I mentioned again today that this I was really worried about the financials, what was happening underneath the hood versus what was actually happening with the money flows on the options. And so that was one thing I was worried about going into today's session. And I was trying to trade the flows this morning because the markets did seem to be okay this morning. And then I had to leave at noon, and it wasn't until after I left that I would have had my sell side signals, and that's unfortunate. So that's the way it goes. So, And then I delved even further under the hood for the financials here. And yes, we did have an order come in yesterday morning on the financials. And a large order came in, and I'm being confirmed down here on my market with alpha tracker down here. But considering the flow that I was seeing in the options, the flow in the options did not conform with the type of signals I was getting in my alpha tracker from what I was looking at, and that's something I definitely wanted to look at, mention today. That's some things I saw that divergence happening, and that's why I was not willing to carry long positions and walk away from the computer today. I had thought about putting some shorts on, but then I just said I'm staying away from it. And same side thing here. We got major sell side. For the most part, sell side action here, and we held out better on the financials, yes, but my point being is they didn't seem to be supportive of the markets going into today's session. The order flow, the option flow did, but the alpha tracker order flow did not seem to be supporting what was going on with the options, and that's why I was really concerned with um, getting a warning sign on the technology, getting the bonds collapsing, and which is negative for technology. And then I didn't necessarily see the order flow. Now we did have a nice buy yesterday afternoon at Bank of America, so that was a signal that kind of messed with my head a little bit here, And so I'm definitely still want to keep an eye. The money flows are tending to go towards the financials, and maybe this is a really nice dip buy for tomorrow. But this is something we need to keep on watch here. So we uh, going forward here into today's trading session, like we had a 3.3% move on JP Morgan despite the big sell off, But see, we're still not getting the money, the institutional investors coming in here and supporting these money flows. And, if this market starts falling apart, I do not think the financials are going to save us. I mean, maybe I'm crazy, but, that's just my down and dirty analysis of what's going on here under the hood. Okay. Some other players that was going on today. They're trying to use Boeing to support prices too, and we did get 1140 today. Somebody did come in and try to buy up Boeing, which it came down with the markets. So there is some rotation still trying to poke its head out here in the COVID names, given some positive news on COVID. But like I said, if technology goes down, I think these will probably fall less hard, but the whole markets will probably come in with it. We're also getting some motion into the transports, and see, we're 3.2 million sell earlier today for Carnival Cruise Lines. So definitely the institutions are not, in my opinion, coming in buying this up. This is the Robin Hood traders coming in, trying to speculate that these transports are going to get rotation and hold up the markets. So definitely something to keep on watch here. Another one was your AAL was firing, and we had a 1.2 million, or was it at 1.2 million sell today on American Airlines up here. So definitely something to keep on mind. Yesterday morning we had a 3 point. Yesterday morning, right about there. Yeah, 3.5 million sell back then. Which 4.5 right behind it. So my point is, this it's not a clear one directional trade here. You're getting big, um, you're getting some big action on both sides of the tape. But in my opinion, if the markets come in, these here, precarious, they've already, definitely something we got to keep our eye on here, because that's where the option flow was trying to go to. And I don't like seeing big sell side action whenever the option flow is supposed to be bullish. You don't want to see multi-million dollar sell programs hitting whenever the option flow is all in calls, and that's what a lot of it, most of it's been going on here. So definitely something, there's something not happening underneath the hood that I don't think the retail investor truly has grasped yet what's going on here. And it's looking, you know, could have just crossed a major turning point in the markets as of today, in my opinion. And another one I definitely want to point out here, as far as trend goes, Microsoft broke down away from the Andrews pitchfork today. So, this is a trend change that has cracked for Microsoft, in my opinion. Uh, if you go on a shorter time frame here, maybe you can see it a little bit better. And, as you can see, we had a closing print. This first closing print outside of our Andrews pitchfork on this accelerated uptrend that started back in May. Nice accelerated uptrend. So definitely something to keep on watch here. Uh, it's not the end of the world yet, but Microsoft has been leading tech to the downside for the past ever since earnings. So that's one Lloyd's really been talking about, and the breakaway from this Andrews pitchfork is a major, in my opinion, it's a major flag we need to start uh, paying attention to. That there could be a much broader trend change setting up here, because I personally think we're going to gap down tomorrow based on the charting that I'm seeing, and I hope I'm wrong, but I do think we've had enough breakage in the technology that this can fall, and this can fall very, very fast going into the end of the week. So we're going to see what's going to happen tomorrow. Maybe the plunge team comes in and can save the market, but we have been this. In my opinion, the market's been running on fumes for quite some time now, and what we're seeing here is some major change of character here that could get extremely bad, and we can come down and see an easy Dow down 1,500, 2,000 points in the morning, in my opinion. So be careful. I'm all cash tonight, and I will see about doing my day trading tomorrow. Okay. So thanks a lot for listening to me. Like the video if you like it. Please leave comments below, and if you want to, you know, uh, chat with me or something like that, just leave me a message, and I'll get back with you. Thanks a lot.